having the technology and having the tools as an educator really makes a big difference.
I think the kids, I mean, are very impacted by this because they're actually creating something about them. And it makes them proud. I mean, it makes them proud of who they are, and it makes them proud of what they're making.
Technology totally changes my teaching practices. It changes who I am, really. I've been able to do so much more with my students, and they're seeing it too.
This guy asked me once if I was proud of where I came from, and before I could really answer, I pictured my smiling mom. I said I was born in Pecos, a small West Texas town. I told him nothing really grew there, except for the color brown. He asked about my family, and my religion came to mind, and I clearly felt my grandmother praying at the time. Then I saw my grandfather, always happy as he smoked away, and I realized I truly missed all the war stories he used to say. I told him about my cousins having kids at the age of 17. I assured him this was uncommon because the Pecos pregnancy age is around 14. I talked about my favorite uncle and how creative he used to be. So creative he uses heroin to craft his reality. I talked about my father and his side of the family, the side my mother prays to leave my identity, the side where there's no religion, just the life of day to day, the side my mom blames for all my angry Chavez ways. So I ask myself again, am I proud of where I come from? But before I can really answer, I hear the voice of my praying mom.
¿Quién me puede decir qué es una comunidad? All right, let's see.
During the Intel project training, I learned how to implement more digital story techniques into the classroom.
Como si hubiera nacido una familia. Es como un grupo. Ajá, el maestro dijo que era como un grupo.
During the Intel program, I did a project, a piece that involved my family. I really wanted to get kind of at the heart of the essence of who I was. So I had to go back and incorporate my grandfather, incorporate my grandmother, my uncles, and all the trials and tribulations that each family has. And I thought it was important for me to stay true to that.
La otra parte que vamos a estudiar de parte de la comunidad es quién eran ustedes.
And to actually share it with my students so they can realize that, you know what, we are not perfect people, but we are still trying to do our best, and that's what we're here for, is to try to do our best, and that's what I hope that my little project will convey, is that do your best and be true to yourself, so that then you can move forward and stay positive.
That's yours, Roberto? All right. Is that your brother or your sister?
I had the students bring some pictures for my unit plan, and we're talking about communities and how we are part of the community.
Who is this young lady?
La Gabriela. ¡Qué bonita! ¡Ah, qué bonita está! Mira, su hermanita.
Cuando miren las fotos, piensen de esta gente es parte de la comunidad.
This project I can pretty much get creative and integrate it into math as well, and technology.
Juliet brought a picture of her little sister, okay. Who else brought a picture of their little sister?
We've done some graphing with the pictures. For example, the students who brought all little brother pictures, we graphed that. How many students brought little sisters? How many students brought families?
Who did?
And we are writing stories about those pictures. And next, we are going to videotape the students actually narrating their stories and editing some pictures with that narration. And hopefully in the end, we're going to have a collage of stories that my class has done to be able to share with each other and see our similarities and differences.
Okay, necesito, ¿quién se quiere parar aquí enfrente y leerlo?
Students are really, really engaged with it.
Y mi tío Ezequiel me llevó al otro lado del agua.
Because we're incorporating computers, we're incorporating cameras, we're incorporating pictures from home, and the students are going to be able to get on the computer, utilize some filmmaking software, and you can just see their eyes. They just light up when they realize, like, oh wow, we're gonna make a short film. With the tools that I've gotten from the Intel, I'm able to actually videotape a project, upload it to the wiki, and then show another teacher, hey, look, this is how my students did a graph, or this is how my students talked about the measurement, and it's just instant right there. It's instant training, and it's instant sharing that I can do with my teacher friends.
I am cool. I am a sports player. I am cute.
The kids love the project. I mean, middle school kids love talking about themselves. They want everybody to know everything about them. We've been making our scenes, our 3D perspective scenes, and now we're going to start. I teach Flash and I teach web design. With that, I'm just using the community stories, Who Am I, as they're learning Flash. They're going to be using that as their major project. The steps I took to implement my program was, first off, I just asked the kids to write 3 things of who they were. Who am I? So they picked 3 things that were trying to be unique about themselves. And then I filmed them I took each one of them out in the hall and filmed their 3 things. I usually would teach Flash by teaching them cartooning, and because I can go through most of what Flash is by teaching them how to cartoon. And then near the end of the semester, I teach them how to take everything they've learned in Flash to make web pages. Remember my cartoon I showed you guys at the beginning of the semester? I'm going to definitely use all the equipment with this, with my students. Let's watch just the beginning of it again, okay? We're going to shade. The projector, we will project. We always project their stuff up on the screen. And just having the mics and the headphones and all that just makes the job so much easier to get the project done. I'll turn some music on for you guys to chill out too. I think the kids are going to really, really take off with this project this year.
Okay, who am I? I started my community story project
Anybody recognize
because of this training. It was an Intel grant, and it was a 6-day training on community stories. I learned how to create an iMovie. I created my own wiki website. I learned what blogging was all about. And I got really excited because I created an enhanced podcast about me and who I am.
Who am I? I couldn't begin to tell you who I am or who I've come to be unless I started at the very beginning, and that began with an incredible woman I called Mama. She married my father at a very young age. She, along with my 4 brothers and 6 sisters, worked in fields.
And so I'm excited to just do this with my own students, because what a wonderful thing to do for them and for their parents.
For a very long time.
I showed them a PowerPoint, and the PowerPoint pretty much just kind of really briefly told them what we were going to do. Talk to family members. They're going to share stories about who you are. And so then the final product was going to be, what is your story? The technology fits with pretty much any unit, but it fits perfectly with the family unit that we do, and especially in kindergarten. I've sent out family letters. Parents have sent release forms. When I first sent out the initial letter to the parents, letting them know what our project was about, I was really surprised with some of their responses. I actually got a note back stating, oh, I think this is a great idea, but we need more time. And so that was just, really good for me. I thought, okay, good. They're excited about it. It's not something extra they have to do. So that was just really nice to hear. So do you have a special story you'd like to share with me today? Tell me. I pretty much conference with everybody, and they are now illustrating their pictures. And your mommy tells me you understand different languages? What languages do you understand? Tell me.
Spanish, English, and Creole.
Spanish, English, and Creole? And do you know a little? Once we are done with that, the next thing we're going to do is come back and actually record them.
Every Sunday, I sing Dear's Children.
You sing what?
Dear's Children.
So can you sing a little bit of it, the song, but a little bit loud?
Dearest children, God is near you, watching over.
Everything that I do, it's just like they're watching, and that's what we are, is we are models for our students, and I want them to be able to do everything that, as far as technology, I want them to feel comfortable going to a computer and doing some of the things that hey, my teacher can do, I can do as well.